Okay, sorry. I don't know what was going on with my computer there. So it was like totally glitching. But welcome to our team call. I'm Samantha Rosenthal. For those of you who I haven't met, I'm seeing some names I'm not familiar with, so that's always exciting. Tonight we're just going over Summit 2018 and the recap. I went with Brenna and Leslyn from our team, and it was you're never disappointed when you go to Summit. It's always like incredibly amazing, and honestly, I don't think that either one of us are done or any of the three of us are done processing it. It's a lot of information. Elite parties start on Wednesday, general session starts on Thursday night, and you basically go for 48 hours straight. So there's really not much time to do anything. And I remember last year and this year, I both like brought my list and work and thought I was going to squeeze it in. And truly, I don't know where I would have squeezed it in. But so I'm trying to open I basically just have notes and visuals because we have new programs launching, and that's always exciting. So if you haven't booked your ticket for Summit for next year, do it. It is, $130 is not, I don't want to say it's a little bit of money because I know $130 is a lot of money. However, kind of the theme at Summit, the theme at Summit this year was believe in you. And a lot of the speakers spoke to that you have to invest into your business to get something out of your business. You can't just expect to do the minimum and get the maximum results. And if you're gonna spend $130, and I understand then you have to buy a flight and book with roomies and stuff like that. So it obviously ends up being more. But if you're gonna invest in your business in any way, Summit is the way to do it. Mike Miguel, if you are familiar with him, he's actually in our upline. He is so motivating and always on fire, and his entire training session talked about that, about how you have to invest in your business to get something out of your business. So you could do it little step by little step. It's not like your first month, to be successful, you need to buy every single product of Performance Line and invest in every single thing. But, you should be trying new products. You should be investing. You should be not even necessarily just in like Energize and Hydrate and all those things, but buying really good books for you to listen to, or making sure you can get to the Super Saturdays, that kind of stuff. But you have to invest in your business to get something out of your business. It's kind of like people always make that joke, like, why do you have to pay extra for avocado? Well, because it's extra. So if you want extra results, like, you need to do extra. So I will share my screen. I don't really have anything crazy, so don't think. So I just have my notes of product launches, new Summit times for next year, what you take away from Summit, what you're going to gain, beat your best, which is an exciting thing they're doing now, and new Success Club prizes. They're going to be set now. So the big exciting things are the product launches that are coming. And so you should all know that Lift 4 is we're starting the transition into that product launch. And I just wanted to give you some history of why we're doing the product launches like we're doing them. If you were a coach in 2017, like me, it was a really, really, really hard year. The very beginning, at the end of 2016 into 2017, we launched BOD, the All Access Pass, and we've not always, but we've always had that club membership. So if you're like if you've been with the company for a while or if you've been trying the products for a while, we've always had, well, they launched it before I started to coach, but online, so that when you bought a disc program, you also got the digital version. And then in 2017, this amazing idea that you just get everything for one membership price, which is so wonderful for our customers. However, coaches really, really struggled because we didn't have anything to sell. And not that we're selling all the time and that makes us feel good, but ultimately the hype of a new program, the hype of having to buy something new is super important. So for everybody who got BOD, every product launch, they just got the program. And that's not a bad thing. And we do want that. So just like Live For, you will get access to it, but we as coaches have the opportunity to hype up and do pre-VIP groups. You know, it's kind of like making people feel, it's all about how you spin it. When you say, I'm running an exclusive test group, people kind of want to be a part of that. I'm doing a program before it launches to the public. If anybody wants to do it with me, you know, it's how you spin it. So Live For is going nuts. I feel like people have to like see me when I talk because I talk with my hands and I'm still like this. So I'm going to stop sharing it, and I'm going to share it, and then I'm going to stop sharing. So again, with the history, 2017 was really, really hard as a coach. You had to like figure out who you were, and it was this transition because we used to be able to coach and take a picture of our Shakeology like this, and that was how you attracted people to what you were doing. In 2017, the world said, no more of you MLMs. We're not doing that anymore. And it was so hard. Never mind, we couldn't leverage these launches. So because Beachbody is so amazing and like literally figures it out for you and like analyzes and does everything, and that's what Carl does at Summit. He literally takes the data that he took and he tells you exactly what is working for coaches, what is working for the business, and he tells you what products have worked and not worked. And if you're like not into numbers and stuff, like he doesn't make it boring. He's very, if you listen to Carl speak, he's very inspiring and motivating, and his vision for this company is really incredible. So that's what he did. He talked about how 2017 was a total flop. And 2018, this year specifically, he dropped some numbers. He predicted that, well, when they were projecting to do 80-day obsession, the company, so the people who run the numbers in the back of the scene, wanted to make enough product for 50,000 purchases. And Carl was like, I'm not okay with that number. I would like to do 150,000. And they were like, you're crazy, but whatever, you're the CEO, let's do it. Well, if you remember when 80-Day Obsession launched, we did 187,000 people bought the package, and it was on back order, and it was incredible. So what we did as coaches and what the company did worked. We used we used curiosity marketing. We talked about programs as real as possible. We talked about how we were going to do this group, and in a world where everyone wanted to do shorter workouts for 21 days or 20 days or 15 days and get these amazing results, what Beachbody did and what Autumn did is she was like, you know what, no, if you want to get amazing results, you need to work out consistently and for longer with more strict eating plan, and it freaking blew up. So the company is doing amazing, which is good for us because when the company does well, we do well because they pour millions of dollars into marketing to help us leverage these launches. Then what happened was Beach Bars. Again, we did, I think it was 200% over what they thought they were going to do, which is great because Beach Bars are amazing. And if you haven't tried them yet, you need to order them. I actually have to hide them from my husband because I'm like, you get like one a day, babe. Like, stop with this, like 10 of them, and no, Carter can't have any until he's paying rent. Just kidding. But they're so good. And then To Be Mindset, same thing. We are targeting really specific needs, which you would kind of think is negative, because just like when you're inviting to your challenge group and you're just like inviting to everybody because you're just dying for somebody to join. What we found, and what the company is finding, is when they're honing in on these specific needs and making these programs, they're actually doing a lot better. So just like when you hone in, instead of saying, any girl ever out there from age 20 to 80, please join my challenge group, when you're thinking about you and your phase of life, and you're inviting specifically people who are like you so that you can relate to them, you're filling up your challenge groups better because you're speaking to your people. So back to the product launches. I just needed to give that history if you were not a part of the 2017 Nutso. I wanted you to understand a little bit of the history and how much the company is really trying to work for us. Okay, so we have Lift 4 happening right now. So pre-launch is July. Sorry, I heard a lot of choking, so they're fine. And then the real launch, it will be in October. Shift Shop was launched in 2017. I did that program. I really, really loved it. However, because we were in the middle of the transition of BOD, it really, really flopped. And so what they're doing is they're relaunching it on BOD, but they're adding more. So Chris Downey has tweaked the program to make it even better, and he talked about it, and we'll definitely hear more about that. But that's a new leverage launch for September. Also in September, I don't have in here, is they're offering now to get certified in 2B Mindset. So just like you can get certified in these workouts and teach them live, you can get certified in 2B Mindset. So it's just a cool way to strengthen your skills in something that interests you if nutrition is your thing. Now, I love Shanti, so I'm pretty excited that Shanti is our huge January launch. So his is no weights, no anything, and they're 20-minute workouts. So again, targeting very specific needs for people. Lift 4 is targeting people who want to do high intensity weightlifting but are short on time, 4 days a week, 30 to 40 minutes. Shanti is targeting people who don't want to use weights, who want to use their body weight, just like he's always done with Insanity and Max 30 and T25, but doing 20 minutes and using a step, kind of like if you go to one of those step classes, and he's like, and he's like so a hip hop guy. So he was like, like those step classes with the hip hop, and he's like, they're so much fun. He's like, yeah, that's not this. He's like, so you don't actually need the step. He did say you can modify without it, but it would add extra intensity. So that's really, really exciting. We have it all planned out. Beachbody is literally laying it out for you so that you can be successful. So that about a month before our product launches, you start talking about it. You start sharing it on your Instagram story. You don't even have to share anything crazy, because obviously you haven't done the program yet. So nobody expects you to know everything. You get to act like you don't know, which is wonderful because we don't know. So you get to just say, I'm super excited about this program. And then if you watch like Melanie Mitro and people who are incredibly, incredibly organized, like Melanie Mitro, on her Instagram story, 1 month before, she starts talking about it, and she just starts planting the seed. If I did this program, would you be interested? Stuff like that. So we have it all laid out for us for the entire next 6 months, and then they'll announce more that's coming. So usually at Super Saturdays, each quarter, they'll tell you what's coming 6 months in advance about. So Shakeology pumpkin spice. Oh my God, literally out of all the announcements that happened at Summit, the crowd went absolutely freaking nuts when pumpkin spice. So just so you guys do know, they're gonna make what they make, and when it runs out, it runs out. Like, it's not, it will not be a regular flavor. They said, like, if it does well, which it absolutely will do well, that they'll consider bringing it back next year or doing things like this, like limited edition Shakeologies. So when it's time, you will want to tell all of your customers, and get it yourselves if you're a pumpkin spice gal. I am a pumpkin spice gal, so this will be my jam. John told me I cannot order over a certain amount. And they're not coming in regular bags. It's only coming in maybe 14-day servings, something like that. I know the price was $74 for regular, and then obviously the discounted coaches price that they didn't have up on the screen, but he said that. Summit next year. So the Summit ticket sale right now is $130 if that's when you cannot transfer it. So that's committing that you're coming, which we're all going, and we're all going to go out, and we're all going to have a great time. We're all going to do team dinners, and it's going to be so much fun. You guys are going to share rooms. I can't put you all in my room, so sorry. You guys are going to share rooms, and it's going to be super fun, and it is seriously so much fun. You cry and laugh the entire weekend. Or you can do the 165, and that means that you can return it or transfer it to someone else. So you can always like transfer the name on it. And the dates are July 11th through 11th, 12th, 13th. So Thursday through Saturday is the general session, and then those of you who qualify for Elite or Premier, there's a party on Wednesday night. So those are just the only pictures I needed. Now I'm just going to talk. Let's see. So the other big cool thing that they're going to do, and they're going to not really trial it, but kind of trial it for the next 6 months, is having set Success Club prizes. So you know how like randomly they'll be like, oh, you get this backpack, or you'll get this, or you'll get that if you earn Success Club. Now you're just on a tier.
Mama.
Yes.
That's a home.
Is that a home?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
You want to
Sure.
Come on.
No, I can't come on. I'm doing work. So so it will now be on a tier, so that at month 1, month 3, month 6, and 1, 3, something like that. Okay, I just know for the next 6 months, it's your first month you make Success Club, your 3rd month, and your 6th month, in whatever order. So if you end up not making Success Club every single month, you just on your 1st, your 3rd, and your 6th, you'll get a set prize. And they have that, they just haven't released it with a picture yet, and I can't find it in Brigida's thing. Oh yeah, it is. So your 1st month you get a coach hat, your 3rd month you get a t-shirt, and then your 6th month you get a backpack. And then there would be a prize for your 9th month and your 12th month if you got it all year round. So super exciting. I'm excited for that because then, you know, maybe I would be someone super fun who did prizes for those alternating months or something. Who knows? We'll see. But I like the prizes that it is. Like when everyone has the cute Beachbody hat, I think that's so cute. And then I really like t-shirts and stuff. So that's why I always submit my results to the Beachbody Challenge, because I just want a t-shirt. Also, what they want to do is they want everyone to have a fresh start after Summit, which is totally normal. So next month, there are these medals that you can get if you beat your personal Success Club goal. So just like we do Team Cup sometimes, and we add up everybody's points. John's home, shocker. Taylor, just so you know, my husband always comes home and he always does something funny in the background. Like he has mooned the camera on accident before. It was like not on purpose, but always comic relief from my cute husband. So, but I do like his weirdness. So you get a medal. And so it's about your personal best, because if you're new to Beachbody and coaching, twice a year we do Team Cup. So we team up as a team of 5 and we add up all of our points, and then we strive to get like bigger prizes. That will still happen, but next month, July, is just about your business and your personal best. So if you've never made Success Club before, and it's not even about like making Success Club, if you've always had 0 points and then you get, you know, points, you qualify. So it's really exciting. So it's just you beating your personal best. And then there is, I'm not seeing it. oh, here it is. It's like a bronze. If you just beat your best, you get a bronze medal. If you exceed your best by 5 Success Club points, you get a silver medal. And if you exceed by 10 Success Club points, you get a gold medal. So let's say that you've only ever made Success Club 6. If you then made Success Club 11, you would get the silver. And then if you got Success Club 16, you would get the gold. So it's just an incentive, and it's just really cool. You can hang it up. It's just for you. So I don't know, they just do fun things like this to help you leverage. But basically the theme of Summit, for those who just jumped on, was believe in you. And so the whole weekend they talked about, you know, kind of two things. One, believing in yourself, believing in what we're doing, and that you have to invest in your business to get results in your business. And so that was kind of the theme. So now I'm going to talk about some speakers. So sorry, I have to trying to remember, because there's so much, you guys. It's so amazing. I can't even tell you. Like, John will message me, and I sometimes answer, and then he's like, did you get that last text? And I'm like, I don't even know. My brain is exploding repeatedly, because they bring on keynote speakers who not only, they're not Beachbody people. They're authors about, you know, Brendan Bouchard was our last one. Sean something was this one. They're just authors who speak on these topics that are really, really incredible. And so this year, the big one was Sean, what is his name? I'm sorry. I'm really bad with names. But I started his book, Sean Anker, and his first book was The Pursuit of Happiness. And when I was going through some serious depression when I was pregnant with Cammie, I read it, and it was really, really good. It was just about, in life, we act like, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I get the abs, or when I lose the 10 pounds, or when I reach diamond. Then I'll be happy. I'll be happy when I pay off my debt. And that doesn't work. It doesn't work. And so we have to find, which is such a parallel to our business, right? You know, because he's just talking about life, but how many of us say well, you know, I'll enjoy my life when I make Success Club, or, you know, I'll watch my show when I finally sign that coach I've been talking to forever, and I'm working so hard, and I'm so hard. And then you feel super discouraged. Instead of being incredibly grateful and intentional ahead of time. So, you know, he didn't use examples of your power hour, but it's more productive in your life and in your business if you say, and other coaches talked about this in the training sessions, where, you know, if you say, I have 25 minutes to do my invites, and that's what I'm going to do it in, because then after this is family time, and from 7 to 9 is family time, absolutely uninterrupted, it's going to make you more disciplined, and it's going to make you more present, therefore more happy, because I think there's very few of us who have nothing to do other than this business, and that nothing else brings us joy. And this business brings me incredible joy. I can't even explain that. It really, truly does. Doing these calls, working my vitals, I really, really love it. But I have other things I like, and I am very guilty of that sometimes, of being well, I'll watch The Handmaid's Tale. I'll just binge it because I'm not going to spend any time, and that's not really fair. So Sean spoke about that. And then, so we're in the big, big stadium. Oh, I didn't even say, it's in Indianapolis next year too. Sorry. So when it's time to book hotels, I know where to book because we stayed there. And you don't want to walk too far because you're running from session to session. But so what happens is we're all in the big thing together, and then we branch off into certain sections. So I heard from, does anyone know Fit and Funky? Danielle Petroni. She actually at Summit got recognized for being a 2-time Superstar Diamond, which means that she has, as you advance rank, you get to open another one of you. So when I get to 2-star, when you get to 2-star, you get to open up a second, you know, Danae, and then you can build that business center as well. So you just put coaches under both, and she is a 2-time 15-star. So under 2 of her accounts, she has 15 diamonds. And there's only been 57 coaches in the entire network who have reached Superstar 2 or above. Lindsay Matway, our upline. She is the only 4-time Superstar Diamond. So she has 4 business centers with 15 diamonds. So these are who you get to see. Like, I saw her, like, she was so close, and you get to walk by them. It's just really exciting. And they're like, I'm just a regular person. I'm not even anything cool. But to you, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just so excited. Like, I saw Brittany Leggett, who I just love Brittany Leggett, and she spoke. Daniel Latoni spoke. All top 10 usually spoke. And then you just get to hear their training tips in like 25-minute sessions. And so my takeaways that I'm just going to share, because there were so many and I could probably talk, but Brenna and I are going to just turn these into training sessions for the next, couple months, were that being intentional with your time, finding joy in the process, and then, well, there's so many. Instagram stories, how that is just such a way to leverage your business, because you don't have to have anymore this, like, incredible post. That was the struggle in 2017 that I was talking about, was that, like, nobody wanted to just see you with your shake like this, but you have to talk about it. So it was like, how am I supposed to do this and be consistent? So on Instagram story, I do a whole bump shake, but that is not everybody's groove. So don't look at my Instagram story and think that that's what you have to do. I do that in my life. I do dance frequently to 90s dance mix before this. So it worked for me, but it doesn't have to work for everybody. Brigitte doesn't do that. Keisha doesn't do that. People who are really thriving in the business don't. So, but the point is that you can snap some kind of a shot without the label. Don't use the label, because if someone like loves you and is like, oh my gosh, this girl is my jam, I love her, what they do is they stalk you. But if you tell them exactly what you're doing, they're just going to Google it. And then if they chose to buy it, they're just going to buy it. So have them ask you. So, Jatiana Jackson is a very big Instagram. She spoke on it. And like, her big thing is Mom Crack, is the Energize. And she's like, I never, ever, ever show the label, because I want them to ask me what I'm drinking. And then I can start a conversation about their goals. And then please remember, it's not like you ask me about Energize, you buy a challenge pack. That means you bought Energize, you're interested, I put you on a follow-up list. That means in 3 months, maybe you'll buy a challenge pack. Because remember, nobody buys on the first time. You have to follow up with them over and over. And that's what they talked about too. And so your Instagram stories, inviting in different ways, and I shared an example last night, is having Instagram story opportunities where you can share questions that never have no. And I started doing that, and I was like, this sucks. People are saying no, they don't need a challenge group. I don't want to see that. That's what I was doing like in January, and it was really discouraging. And they were like, you should be inviting every day, but in super creative ways. And so that you build this list of people who are watching you and who are interested in lots of different avenues of what you do. So last night I asked, do you have a harder time with consistency or time? And I was actually wrong. I thought most people would say time, but it was consistency. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about, I'm going to go live, or not live, I'm just going to make like a few 15-second videos about what a challenge group does for your consistency. And then I have that whole, I just screenshotted everyone who answered. And so doing that, asking people, you can ask straight up, like, I'm having a challenge group, which I absolutely suggest you do, but you have to do it consistently. You have to show them over and over and over. And then the 2 big speakers who were coaches, besides the coaches who get up and tell their stories, and then you really just bawl your eyes out, whether it's their weight loss transformation or their health transformation or their mental health transformation, like Emily Faber, she just went 15-star like the day we got to Summit. And she got up in front of on the Colt Stadium and talked about how she was in foster care in the beginning of her life. And then she got married, and they had 4 miscarriages in a year, and, back to back to back, and like coaching saved her. And it's just incredible. It's just really, really incredible, because everyone has a different story, and it's so important to tell that story in your phase of life. And that segues into what Bonnie Engel got up and talked about, and hers was really, really good. And I was really impressed. Not that I was surprised, because her team calls are always great if you ever YouTube them. But she got up, but she just had a baby. Sorry, that's what I was going to say. She had a baby 6 weeks ago, and her presentation was still on freaking point. I guess if you were going to talk to 20,000 people, you wouldn't really risk that. But she talked about how, what's wrong, baby? Okay, down. So when, what, baby? So when we used to, when we started coaching, and I do it too, and I tell you guys all the time, it's not that this information is not valid, but we used to say, like, speak to the old you, speak to pre-Beachbody you, speak to where you're going, kind of like the past and the future. But right now, finding people on Instagram is to speak to exactly where you are in life right now. Find people who are exactly in the same phase of life as you right now, and then just speak and add value to that. While still sprinkling your story from before and where you're going later, but speaking to who you are right now and how these products are helping you right now. People want live, they want real life. People do not want glorified everything. And that was her talking. It was really great. And I'm trying to think what else. And she touched on the curiosity marketing too. You can have your shake there, but you don't have to say it's Shakeology. You just explain why you love it right now in this phase of life. You can talk about what the coaching opportunity is doing for you right now in this phase of life. And then Melanie Mitro talked next, and she talked about resilience in the business and having a long-term goal, and not thinking that this is you work for a month and then you get all of your goals met. Having a long-term plan, having resilience, and being okay. What's up, baby? Down? There's nothing there. Here, just take this chicken. Sorry, guys. Having resilience in the business and knowing that you're going somewhere, and that every month and every day that you do your vitals, it's leading to success later. So that was kind of the summit recap. And then the final night is 100% about recognition and the Team Beachbody Challenge. So in one of the sessions, they had us stop, and they had everyone stand up on how much weight you've lost over time, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, and people sat down, and then they pulled everybody up who was over 100 pounds. Oh, great. And okay. And you're just crying because these people, they're crying because their lives have been transformed by what we do. People come to Summit and they're not necessarily all diamonds, or you have to remember that people have come to Summit 6 years in a row just because they have had amazing transformation. They don't even build the business. So it's absolutely incredible to see. And then the 8 finalists of the Beachbody Challenge, and the male and the female who win each get $100,000. Everyone else gets $25,000. Is just really, really, really inspiring, and it reminds you why we're doing this. And so if you're, I encourage you to I'll look and see. I'm sure people got live snippets of everything. And if you're following anybody on Instagram, they kind of blew it up. But to remember why we're doing this and why you're here and why you got started and the transformation that you've had and the transformation that your challengers have had. And no small transformation is not worth it. You know, some people struggle to lose 5 pounds. Some people struggle to ever get in water. Some people struggle to ever have friends, like in a challenge group, you know, and we can offer all of that. So what we do is incredibly important, and it shouldn't be minimized. It should not be minimized what you do. You should be proud every single day that you are a Beachbody coach. And yeah, that's it. Also, Super Saturday is the weekend. It's the weekend after the 4th. So next weekend. So in like 10 days. I encourage you to get to your Super Saturday. You know, I have a lot of Boston babes. I think all Boston babes right now. There is a Super Saturday in Boston. It is like usually 3 hours long. I try not to be a coach that yells at you ever, but I'm going to yell at you and tell you to get your butt to Super Saturday. It is worth anything because all we do, just like Summit, makes you feel empowered, but what we do is we sit behind our phones and we talk to people who are not in front of us, and we feel like we connect on team calls, yes, and we connect on our team page, yes, but when you get in a room with a bunch of coaches and you hear their stories and you hear the announcements and you do a live workout all together, you feel like on freaking fire. I cannot explain the energy. Part of the course, I either have a baby or move every single Super Saturday. I am moving next weekend, so I cannot make Super Saturday. But I will be catching as much as I can live, but it doesn't do any of it justice. Just like those of you who caught some of it live at Summit, it's just not the same. It's not the same. You don't feel the energy of the crowd. You don't feel the energy of the speakers, and you don't cry as much, and crying is really important. So that is... yeah, so that is that. Does anyone have any, I'll stop recording.